On this James the Bike Guy, I'm unveiling all the parts for my brand new Fuel EX project bike. And right behind me is the glorious sight that is the new parts. Let's check them all out. I'll explain what they're about and start some of the build. I don't have much time today, unfortunately, but it's beautiful out. I wanted to make the video, and not too long, I'll finally be out on the trail on this new bike. Let's check out the new parts. So here we have all the brand new parts for this build. Let's check them out. And in fact, it's time to start with the fork, because what's more important than the front fork on the bike? So what we ended up with is the Fox 34 Performance. Now, we both know that the Fox 34, it's a pretty nice fork. It's something that I think is going to be great on there, and it's quite a bit lighter than the RockShox 35 that came with the bike. So I figured this would be a nice start. Now, because I was ordering from Fox, you can't just order one thing, you know. So I went ahead and made sure that I got the new Fox Transfer seat post. So this will match up, black stanchion just like the other. This is the performance version, so just like that Fox 34, both are performance. Both, I think, will make for a really nice look on the bike. I don't have it just yet, but I will be running the One-Up Components dropper lever. So this can't quite be installed just yet, but that's okay. And that's going to bring us on the Shimano SLX group set. So this is going to be a 1x12 group set. Personally, I think the stuff looks pretty nice. And I haven't run Shimano in a long time. So I'm going to set this up as a 1x12 Shimano. I've had NX and GX bikes a couple of times now, both in Eagle configurations. I absolutely, truly do love. But I figured it'd be time to run Shimano since it's been so long since I have. Now I'm doing the 10 to 51 tooth cassette on the back, and then I'm running a 32 tooth chainring up front. That did mean that I had to convert over those Line Comp 30 wheels to micro spline. So I am gonna run the stock XR4 team issue tires. I think these are actually pretty nice tires. I've ridden on them before, the Line Comp 30 wheels. It's a sweet wheel set that comes stock with the bike. And on the rear, I've done both the micro spline upgrade, and because I was converting over the free hub body to be micro spline anyways, I went ahead and did the upgrade to the 108 teeth of engagement. So this thing's gonna sound sweet out on the trail. So I'm pretty excited about that. In this, well, we gotta go some bling, and I'm one of those weird mountain bikers that still likes to ride with clipless pedals. So I've got these Bontrager Comp MTB pedals in this beautiful oil slick and golds, which would look mint. Now, I'm sure you guys are saying it too, but budget constraints are what they are. I really should have gotten the forks in the Performance series so I could have had that gold Kashima. So I think that would look awesome with the bike. But it wasn't in the cards, so that's okay. And of course, because where would you bling if you didn't have everything? We've got oil slick grips and then an oil slick top cap too. So those two things, and if you take a walk with me here, you can see this with the frame is gonna look gorgeous. Man, I can't wait. So the last things to mention, I am gonna run the stock MT400 brakes. We'll see how they are. I might upgrade them in the future, you never know. But one thing that I actually found a little bit cheese, and I didn't anticipate this till I was mocking up some of the assembly the other day, is the handlebar. So this comes with the rhythm stem, it's knock block, and generally, you know, Bontrager typically does some good spec on the Trek bikes. I think for the most part, their parts are really nice. This rhythm stem is perfectly nice, but you see that? That's 31.8. It's 2020, it's not a 35 mil bar clamp. I don't know what difference it's gonna make, but I was gonna replace the handlebar because this thing is a straight up bone achre. I mean, what do you expect? It's a thick walled aluminum. It's to help keep the bike safe and strong and all that good stuff. So I don't really blame Bontrager for the heavy bar. but 31.8. Not gonna lie, I'm a little bit bummed about that, but hey, what can you do? That's just another place to upgrade. So now that we've taken a look at some of those parts, let's go ahead and focus our attention on the build of the bike. Because I don't have 100% of the stuff here, I'm just gonna go ahead and mock up and just get it to be a roll-in shell. But let's get going. We'll go ahead and start with the build of the frame here. All I'm gonna start off with is getting our headset into the frame, get that all greased up, get the fork mounted right up. So jump into my little go box here, pull this stuff out. Basically from here, we're just gonna have some liberal amounts of grease and getting everything set up. And we'll start with our headset cups. So the top headset, I'm gonna go ahead and take this nice dab of grease and let's just get some grease into the frame. I know this is gonna look excess and partly that is because it is. I also don't unfortunately have a brush. I should add one of those. Then we'll take a little bit of that grease, get it all around the bearing, all in the inside of the bearing there. Get that slid into the frame. Now we gotta grease up the lower race, the fork, grease like that on the inside of the bearing. You know, the parts that can creak on the bike, you can never have too much grease because you can just always take it right off. We'll get grease into the lower cup. And then now we can just take our fork, get the headset and everything together. Slide that guy right on up. There we go. This bike uses knock block, so the larger cutout there goes backwards. So that's going to slide on. Just like that. Then we can drop our cheesy top cap on. But hey, it's gonna look good. With that on, just because I'm a little bit neurotic, I haven't adjusted the stem straight, but let's go ahead, torque that guy up. Perfect. So the fork's on, not too bad. Let's go ahead and tackle our cassette here. So this is going to be the next piece. So open up the box for the cassette. Bit of a beaut, ain't she? And I'll tell you, it's actually, I mean, it's not lightweight, but it's not nearly as bad as you might imagine. And there we are. And in an exciting turn of events, we've got the wheel on here. So let's go ahead and stop that. We'll go for our front wheel, which doesn't really need anything. It's already done. just a little bit of lubricant, or grease I should say, on the through axle there. Let's do the next fun one. Got to get our crank set up. Let's go ahead and take our chain ring out of the box here. Now this is going to be a reasonably simple task. So you've got this threaded ring, pulls off. Name of the game, I'm sure a shop goes through a ton of grease. So that goes on. Chain ring does. Slides into place. Little lube right onto that. Now we just got to tighten this down. Tighten this guy down. And I'll tell you what, it's a good looking crank. So that comes off. Now, like everything else about this bike, get some grease in. Make sure the bottom bracket's got some grease too. Clean off some of the extra there. Now this guy, just gonna slide right into place. And on the back side, there we go. So we've got our little tension adjust. You can't quite see what I'm doing here, but I'm letting that thread in. And then you take your tool that's designed to tighten that up. Snug it till there's a little plastic piece that locks it into place. You see where that was? And we're good. So at this point, I'll jump to the other side just so you guys can see. But at this point, we'll tighten that up. And when I go back through to complete the build, I'll be torquing all of the bolts. The bike's looking pretty good right now. Let's go ahead and get that rear derailleur on. Only got just a few more minutes. Grease on that, because that's the story of the day. Now we got to just thread this guy right onto the bike. Ooh, yeah. And now we can just get those brakes loosely threaded. the brakes are loosely on, let's go ahead and just get our handlebar installed too while we're at it. There we go. Finally, let's get our shifter installed here. Go on just before the brake. Boom. Well guys, that's all I got time to do today, but tell you what, I think the bike's looking pretty nice. This SLX group set, the Fox 34 fork, all these parts I think really bring this together. So go ahead and let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about this build. While you're at it, be sure to hit that subscribe button. That way you can see more videos like this, as well as part reviews, which are my main bread and butter. But I can't wait to bring you through the final stuff, like setting up shifting and cables, and just dialing everything in so it works out perfect. Well, again, thanks for watching. Be sure you hit that subscribe button and leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video.